Good morning. I'm gonna do a little tour. We've had pretty bad issues with the weather. We went from cold and miserable and wet for over a week. Now we're having a lot of heat. So I'm hoping my garden survives this. A few plants died back because of the cold nights. But yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess. These are my cherry tomatoes. They should, if my plan works, grow up this tall trellis. I put one on each side. This one is a fresh one I just planted because the other one was dug up by a cat. I believe a cat. Here my peas are really enjoying the cooler weather. I do have to start putting the string closer to them so that they climb on it. Kohlrabi sprouting. I gotta take out like 90% of them, let the better ones grow. Kale down there is doing really good. And these little baby kales too seem to be enjoying. They like the cold, so they'll do okay. Here are the Swedes. Well, we tend to call turnips. I also have to clear those up. There's just too many of them bunched together. I'll have to do the same with the beets once they start coming up a little more. The one seed of Malabar spinach seems to have grown, so I'll be able to put that one in the ground when it's a little bigger. Potatoes are doing really well. These are big beef tomatoes. They don't seem to have suffered too much. I mean, you can tell there is a little bit of cold damage on some of the leaves, but they're recuperating, so they'll be okay. The corn is starting to sprout. It was a little yellow from lack of sun. Now it's starting to green up. But it's been so miserable here. I'm in Quebec, in case some of you don't know. These are the cauliflower and the broccoli. They also, brassicas don't mind the cold, so they're doing okay. There's nothing planted here yet. My walking onions are doing okay. There was a little gap there, so I planted a couple of plants of parsley. The cabbages, they're doing okay also. We'll see how they do here because the sun only comes up here around 10 in the morning for a few hours. It doesn't stay here long. The rest of the herbs are doing okay, except for the basil. It really didn't like the cold, but it's still green, so I'm still hopeful. What I'll do is I'll probably put a little bit of seeds around just to get those going to see if I can save some. The sage too is having a bit of a rough time, but still green, still hopeful. Oregano's doing really well. I got a couple of celery plants I planted here. We'll see how they do, because this area, oops, there's a big plantain here. This area doesn't get a whole lot of sun, so. In my little high tunnel, the sweet potatoes got a little cold too. You can tell they have a little bit of a, but again, I'm still being hopeful. These are peppers, habanadas. They taste like habaneros, but they don't have the heat. Sweet potatoes again. They had a bit of a rough time there, but some new sprouts are coming up, so we'll see. I guess that's the story of the year for this year. Wait and see. This area I just fixed up this week. There was a big pile of dirt here, so I did a couple of little beds that I added the lettuce to have a bit of a rotation. Because lettuce, if you plant it every 2 weeks, you can get quite a good summer harvest throughout the summer. I usually do 4, maybe 5 plantations of it. So These are the guys that had the roughest time. The San Marzano, I'm not sure what to make of them. They're, I don't know. Some of them are just not gonna do anything. This is pretty much dead. But yeah, they did not like going from 20 degrees down to 8 degrees for about 2 weeks and just rain every single day for 10 days. See, I don't think this is gonna survive. This one's dead. The big beef are, I guess, a little braver. They're not that great, but there is new growth. A little bit of weeding to do. I always plant a couple of flowers at the end of each bed. Snapdragons, they attract the bees. These are Rio Grande. They seem to fare a lot better. So I'll be taking notes for next year. These are doing okay. I know I have some Amish paste. I seem to have, oh, there it is, there's the tag. So this side is Rio Grande, and I put Amish paste, so this side is Amish paste. See, this one here is dead. No point keeping that. They're close together though, so they'll be okay. I'm just really hoping to get my 200 pounds of tomatoes for my sauce. Sorry if I'm moving too fast with the camera. These are the yellow beans. Some of them are just starting to sprout. But I mean, it's, what, 2 days now that we've had around 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. I mean, compared to the 8 or 9 degrees we had for over 10 days with rain. Something's eating them though. Apparently I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. See what's up. I've got green beans and yellow beans all along here. This space here is about, I guess, 2 feet by 10. And here I just planted a few days ago some navy beans, pinto beans. So they're just starting, but there's not many apparently. I've got all kinds here that should have been sprouted too by now, but again, you know, can't control the weather. Peppers had a hard time, depending on which. These are big reds. They seem to be okay. They're nice and green. This one not so much. These are canaries, they're called. They're big yellow peppers. These are sweet banana. Only 2 made it. And these habanadas. This one here seems okay. It looks a lot greener on camera than it actually is. It's a bit on the yellow side. This one is really yellow. You can't really tell, but I don't know if they'll make it. These are pretty dead. See, they're just falling apart. This is, my spinach is fine. That's spinach I planted last year that for some reason came back. Zone 5, go figure. But we've been eating it for a few days now. It's even starting to come up. I broke the heads off yesterday. Try to stop them from flowering. This is a romaine. A couple of romaines here are doing okay. Carrots haven't sprouted yet. I put them a week ago. I mean, if I look really, really close and sideways, I might be able to. It's hard to say it, but there's some. Then the cucumbers died, so I put some fresh seeds. We'll see how that goes. Just cucumbers and pickles. I put seeds, and we'll see. Sounds like the story of the year. We'll see. So those are all squashes. These are butternut. 5 of them. We'll see how they do. There's 3 honey boat squashes. Then it's blue Hubbard, which is a really big squash. We've never eaten it yet. I've planted, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think this one's gonna do anything. But the rest seems to not have cared for the cold, but there's some new growths. The watermelons died. I started some seeds. Hopefully they'll have enough time to grow back. So over here, this is celery. It seems to, I don't know, flopping down a lot. But it's only early in the season too. I mean, we are just May. These are leeks I just planted 2 weeks ago, I guess. And again, a little on the thin side. Not getting as much sun as I hoped here. The sun comes around 9 o'clock, but it does stay for a good part of the afternoon. These are all onions. This one is an onion from last year that came back. And so is this one. This one's a bigger one because it came back. It never died, basically. Garlic is doing okay. I don't know how big the heads are going to be, but they're a good couple of feet tall now. Scapes are not showing any signs yet, so they're still getting thick. So since my other tomatoes weren't doing well, I added a couple of big beef tomatoes in these 2 bags. The apple tree, I don't know if they'll turn into apples, but it's its first year. Planted them last year. This one too has right here blackberries, thornless blackberries are doing really good. I already covered the blueberries because the flowers were starting to come off. And I left the top open for the bees to get to the flowers. And as soon as all the flowers are done and the blueberries start forming, I'll close up the top to make sure the birds can't get at them. These are all flowers. There's zinnias, sunflowers, 3 different kinds. And after I put all the little plants, I threw in a bunch of loose seeds, mixed different, like cosmos, and I think there's a little bit of snapdragon, and just a bunch of mixed seeds from last year. Just added to it. This next year I'm going to have to cover up to make it grow taller. If you shade them, they look for the heat. They look for the sun, so they tend to grow longer stalks. Here they're in full sun, so they're just not growing much stalk. That's fine though. My elderberry, it looks like it's gonna flower this year. It's its first year. I also planted it last year. Flowers are doing okay. Even my little mini rose bush here, surprised. I usually don't keep those very long, but I have 3 in front of the house and this one. The pond, the pump is just not doing much. I really have to look into getting a stronger one. Everything else seems to be doing okay. That's my weeping willow. Can't believe how big it's getting. I had to cut some lower branches. I don't know that these are going to flower this year. It's hard to say. I don't think they get enough sun here to flower. They did the first year, but then the tree just kind of took over and created too much shade. These are all flowers. I do have flowers I use for medicinal purposes though, and my weeping willow. The bark of the weeping willow contains the same thing as aspirin, so you can make your own aspirin out of it, and you can also use it for your garden. If you put the equivalent of 1 aspirin in a gallon of water once it's crushed and mixed really well. If you water your tomatoes and cucumbers, it prevents disease. I know it sounds weird, but it does work. So everything else seems to be growing really well. This is going to flower. Not much of a flowering event because it's kind of a little burst and they don't really look like flowers, but it creates a nice color contrast, the leaves between the hostas and the shape. It's just looks very tropical. Mosquitoes are out in droves right now. This just seeded itself on its own. It's some kind of fern. I don't know what kind, but it just showed up, so I'm leaving it go. I really like the fact that it's very shady here. I'm surprised these flower in this shade. And these smell so nice. I love irises. Everything else is gonna start coming in. That's Solomon's seal. Variegated. Not really for the flowers as much as for the entire greenery. So that's about it for now. I'm just gonna have to hope that everything survives the cold spell we had and all the rain. And I think what I'll do is right here, to replace the tomatoes that are not doing well, I'm gonna just spread a few seeds next to each plant, and whatever grows best is gonna stay and everything else just gonna be pulled out. Strawberries too, forgot to show the strawberries. They are looking really, really good. They are, it's hard to see because of the netting I keep on them, but they are covered in blooms. Just covered. It's crazy. I should get quite a bit out of that. All of them, and even that little extra patch down there that I left grow last year. Whoops, I guess I gotta fix the netting before the critters get underneath. So, wish me luck. Hopefully everything settles down and the weather stays good for a little bit. See you on the next video.